Breaking slime news coming out of Peachybbies early this morning. Dan Yole announces his resignation from the slime fixing task force following the news that Erin is returning. Hi! It is time to get back to business, but first I have a very important question for you guys. Does this sweater make me look like the Grinch? If it does, I want you to be honest with me because I never want to wear it again, so please go comment down below if I look like the Grinch or not. But more importantly, this right here is an extremely overactivated cloud slime, which we don't see that often, but you can tell that it's a really overactivated cloud slime because when you take a chunk of it, there's absolutely zero stretch going on here. But because there is so much slime here, the only way that I'm going to be able to fix it is with the good old mixer. All we need, glycerin. That was probably too much, but nothing that I can't fix. That was a lot easier than I thought it would be. It is already this beautiful color. Now, as you're thinking about your slime ideas, as you are clearly making your slime at home with me, it's important to remember that not every slime needs to be a scene. So today, I'm gonna be using this slime to show somewhat of an art project. My concept today is friendship, and I want this slime to reflect the highs and lows of friendship. So this is a purple slime. It also sort of looks like a mountain range. If you're on a mountain range looking down at a lower mountain range, this is kind of what it looks like. But not to go into the scene thing, because I'm trying to stay away from that for this specific slime. But really, since this slime is already in such good shape, all we have to do is go grab a couple things from Charmville and an extra special little topping that I'll show you later. So this slime is based off of friendship. And what is the one thing I think about when I think about friendship? Anna! Everybody's favorite Peachy baby, or at least my favorite Peachy baby. No offense, Christian, you're also my favorite, and Andrea is also my favorite, and Dan, and Jesse, and everybody, okay? But Anna! So I'm gonna pick out a couple of things that remind me of our friendship. Something that we really enjoy doing together is going to grab coffee on our breaks. I want this slime to be applicable to any friendship. So right now, pick a friend and think about what charms you would pick out for that person. And comment down below. Tell us about your best friend and how you would make a best friend slime. Also, if you do make a best friend slime, please tag us on Instagram. We would love to see it. Pick out whoever, make a slime based on them, and then share it with us. So like I said, we're not going for a scene here. We're not trying to transport you to a beautiful land. We're just trying to make a beautiful art piece here. So I'm gonna try to create a cute little design in the slime. This is always a hit or miss, and we're starting with a bit of a rough canvas, but it's gonna always be worth the try. If you're working on an art piece and you're just halfway through and you're like, oh, this really sucks and I don't like it, it's worth finishing because even if it comes out and it looks horrible, it's really helpful for you to have a horrible first art project because your second one will always be better, and then you'll compare it and you'll feel amazing about yourself. So here we have a circle. I just want to make a cute little design. I want it to be very symmetrical and pretty. Another thing that's important to keep in mind is that the act of creating the art itself should be just as enjoyable to you as the result of your art. If you're out there making your slime and you get so upset every time your slime doesn't turn out like a Peachy baby slime, you know, it's not turning out exactly how you wanted, well, did you have fun making it? Because if you didn't have fun making it, there's the root of your problem, and that's what we need to fix before our art is gonna get any much better. Any much better. Any much better. Any better. Here are the final touches. And this is the final slime. Just like that one time when I painted Anna out of slime, it didn't turn out as beautiful as I thought it would, but the act of doing it was what was so much fun. And because creating this little design was so much fun, I would consider this slime to be fixed. It might look chaotic to you, but to me, it makes sense. On to the next one. I know I just got back here, you guys, and I know I'm really regaining your trust by helping you fix all these graveyard slimes, but this one makes me reconsider my entire career. I didn't realize a slime could look this bad, if I'm honest. It's always these slimes that were used for the either guess the country or guess the movie, that they have all these little bits of different colors of clay in them. It makes it look so crazy. This one is called Gummy Bears. I'll be honest, I definitely am not getting that. I've never made a factory of gummy bears before. Maybe I'll just make a factory. Or, oh, I found gross things underneath it too. What the heck is this slime? But the weird thing here is the texture of this slime, so perfect. Literally beautiful, perfect, amazing. The color, also very nice. I don't want to change that color at all, but it has so many little weird surprises in it that it definitely needs some extractions. So I'm going to be just picking out all of the grossest things that I see here. This is one of the hardest parts of the job, but it must be done. I have finally gotten rid of all of the nastiness in this slime. That took probably 12.5 hours, just so you guys can gauge how committed I am to this job, specifically for you. Color's great, texture's great, it looks way better. Let's get a side-by-side of how it looked in the beginning versus now. Incredible, incredible, I'm so good at my job, oh my gosh. But it's now time to go to Charmville and find as many gummy bears as we possibly can and do the classic story of what these gummy bears might be doing. Who knows? Let's go find out. Gummy bear factory. I have to be honest with you guys, I've actually never been to a gummy bear factory before. I know that's very surprising. I look like someone who's been at a gummy bear factory, whatever that means. But I don't even know exactly how gummy bears are made. I used to love gummy bears. I used to feel connected to them, but I've kind of lost myself in that way. And it's really time for me to find that connection again. Where are the gummy bears? All of this is gummy bear related. So as I'm picking out all of these gummy bears, I'm trying to think of what is an environment in which gummy bears can come from. The color is like this dark red. So I'm kind of thinking lava. How can I incorporate gummy bears with lava? Let's think about it. Gummy bears are made of like jello, basically. What if there's a volcano that instead of dispersing lava, it disperses jello? And then all of these gummy bears live there and we're witnessing the process of gummy bears coming to be. Listen, this sounds crazy. I'm gonna show you in a second. Let's go. Have you ever wondered to yourself, what is the origin story of the gummy bear? That's what we're getting into today. A gummy bear is an ancient creature and they originate from the island of Gum. Deep in the center of Gum Island, there is one large and often active volcano called Mount Gumulus, Mount Gummy Bear. We're working on the name, okay? We're actually not sure. There's a lot of translation issues between us and the gummy bears, so we're not really 100% sure what they call the volcano. It's not really important, but
Mount Goom.
Mount Goom. Never mind, we got it. We just had our translator come in. It's called Mount Goom. Now, I've never been the best at making clay sculptures, I'll admit, but I think it's time. Does this look like a volcano to you? No. We're working on it. We have our volcano ready to go. I'm actually really proud of how that looks. So the way that gummy bears are made is sort of like a beehive. Think of this as the gummy bear hive. They all congregate around this volcano. And what's coming out of the volcano, you may ask? Well, definitely not lava. It's actually a gelatin and like gum. So there's some like blue stuff coming out. This is all the sour juice that comes out of the gummy bear volcano. It's also spurting out all of this candy. Now, all of this candy is what these gummy bears are going to use to create their brothers and sisters. There's also lots of candy coming out of the inside of this volcano. And all these guys are here for it. And a little bit of sugar. I like to think that this is like one of those lava cakes. This slime now tells a story, has a great texture, smell, and overall aesthetic. So this slime is officially fixed, but we have so much more in the graveyard that's been piling up that we have to get to. So let's go. This next one is called Do Not Use. And just like the real pyramids, time has not been kind to Daniel's beautiful Nile River slime. It is important to mention that every slime you have, even your slimes at home, they have a lifespan and you need to keep up with them. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this beautiful pyramid that we have here. It's been a little while since Dan fixed this slime, honestly, but we're gonna make it way better. Probably not, actually. We're gonna do something with it. But first, let's check out how this texture is doing. Ooh. It looks like the Nile has sunk down to the bottom of the slime and began rotting. The slime itself is not actually rotting because slime doesn't just rot on its own, but it does look like it is, and that is the real problem here. So I'm gonna take a second and just mix this all together and see what texture we're left with afterwards. Looking at this slime, it looks kind of like paper, like a paper map, but what if, now stick with me for a second here. This is our paper map, right? It's telling us where to go. And we want to modernize our paper map. So here we have not one, but two former graveyard slimes to help us out to create this new map reality that we're looking for. I have one of my oldest graveyard slimes, which is not doing so hot right now, and probably the best slime I've ever fixed, which is Pondering Pandas at the Ponder Pond. So we're starting off here with our paper. This is super deactivated snow fizz, which I think might actually be the perfect texture to create a little mountain range. And these cows are now becoming mountain goats. We're thinking outside of the box once again. So the story behind this slime is gonna be, you've deduced that there's a mountain range in this corner. It's a really weird looking mountain range. And then these pondering pandas are very graciously helping you find the treasure. It does mean that you have to split 50% with them because they're a little bit greedy, but they were pondering how to modernize your pirate map. So they've let you borrow a section of their pond because their pond is actually on this map. And you saw this map, you saw that the pond was on there and you're like, hey, I know that pond. So now you're a cartographer, you're drawing out your map. We've come to the conclusion that this side of your map is where the pondering pandas are. This side is where those grazing cows were. But then here's the trail. The trail is leading you through here. Here's the X. Okay, it's definitely time to go to Charmville, and then I think you guys will be able to see the vision that I've got going on here. So let's head back to Charmville real quick. I'm looking for 3 things. One of those things is a character to play you, because in this story, you are the person with the pirate map who's trying to figure out where the treasure is. So I need a character that's going to represent you, the viewer, you right now watching this. Also, I want something to look like a path. Here are some brown crumbs. This is gonna show the trail leading up to the X. Who are you to me? You are this cute little baby monkey. One of the cutest charms that we have. I think this is perfect. Now it is time to find our buried treasure. Now this part is a little bit different because it's a secret. You guys are not allowed to know what it is until we play out the rest of our story that we're going through right now. So I'm gonna pick something out that I know you will like, but I'm not gonna tell you what it is, and you'll see it when we're back at our slime table. Okay, we need to add a little bit more to our environment here before we really go through the story. So there are some giant blue mushrooms right outside of the pondering pond. Also, some moss. And now when you have this map, there's obviously the X over here that is marking the treasure. But actually, look away for a second while I add the treasure in here so it'll already be ready to go when we go through the story. Look, don't stop looking, stop. And now this will be the trail that this map is telling you to follow, which is gonna take you all kinds of crazy places. Okay, this might not look like much, but trust me, this is gonna be a lot. Okay, so think back to what this slime looked like when we first started with it. It was just a paper map, and that paper map is what this little tiny monkey is currently holding. So here he is looking at the map that we were looking at earlier. He's on his way. Also, this is you. You're on your way. You're walking through, you're following the map. Okay, cool. What do we come to? This is the Gummy Bear swamp. So this Gummy Bear has traveled directly from his volcano. So you're like, excuse me, Gummy Bear from the swamp, how do I make it to this X? And he's like, I don't know, but if you don't get out of here in 30 seconds, I'm gonna blow up. And then you're like, right, okay, I thought I was asking for help, but whatever. You just keep walking on along your way, and you come to a beautiful field. You go up to one of the cows and you say, excuse me, do you know how to get to the treasure? The cow just looks at you and it eats its grass. And he's like, meow. So you ask the cow for directions, and he is absolutely no help because he is but a cow. You turn your back on that cow very dramatically, and you waltz your way back up the road, and you come to the pondering pond of pandas. And this is Barbara's husband. He's like, hey, what's up? And you're like, oh my gosh, you speak my language. And he's like, yeah, what are you doing here? You can't be here at all. And you're like, hey, listen, chill, we're friends. I'm looking for the X on the map. And he's like, oh yeah, it's actually right over there. And you're like, amazing. Okay, and he's like, yeah, just go around this creepy little alleyway. And you're like, well, do I trust these pandas? They don't want me here. The music is racing. Your heart is also racing. And you did it. You came to the little cross. X marks the spot. It's time to start digging. You're digging, and it could be the best thing you ever find. It could be the worst thing. It could kill you. It could give you new life, and you find it. The keys to the Peachybbies warehouse. Boom! You now own Peachybbies. Thank you so much for watching. It feels great to be back in the slime forest, and I will see you another time.